Fox Sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Wisconsin.
And we welcome you on a rainy, cold night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brewers baseball tonight. The Brew Crew hosting the reigning world champs, the San Francisco Giants. And thank goodness for the roof. Nice and tidy inside, and there was one of the heroes from last night. Uni Betancourt had a big grand slam, bottom of that order, producing 7 RBIs in last night's game. And now we're set for game 2. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us tonight. The Brewers and the Giants, it'll be Kyle Loesch against Ryan Vogelsong and Rock. The Brewers are hoping to carry over some of that offense that we saw last night into Loesch's start here tonight. He hasn't been given much run support.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, he's been throwing the baseball extremely well. Really no surprise his success. What has been a surprise, how many innings he's been able to eat up. 2 starts, 13 innings. And the reason for that, he gets out early in the count. You remember in his first start against the Arizona Diamondbacks, he used a lot of changeups. In St. Louis, he used a lot of fastballs. He's a guy that's not going to establish a pattern. He's been doing a heck of a job eating up innings, and that's going to be very important tonight. Ron Renick used 6 pitchers last night.
Start number 3 for Kyle Loesch. You see his 2 starts. Remember, he had very little spring training, just the 1 outing. He went 6 innings in his opener, 7 innings against the Cardinals in St. Louis, giving up 2 earned runs, and still hoping for some runs. It was the bottom of the order last night, and when we come back, Craig and Davey with guest Craig Counsell will break down the success of the bottom of the order from last night's game.
Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Back inside Miller Park, and we welcome in Craig Counsell, just in case you missed Brewers Live pregame. He's serving as a special analyst with us on tonight's shows and also tomorrow afternoons. Currently the assistant GM with the Milwaukee Brewers. Craig, welcome to the broadcast. Well done in the pregame, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and let's talk now about the bottom of the order, because yesterday had everything to do with that 8-run third inning, and specifically, Uni Betancourt and Carlos Gomez swinging heavy bats, playing a little small ball and power ball, Craig.
Well, we got Carlos Gomez going. I think that's important. Second straight 3-hit game and his first home run of the year last night.
Well, you know, the thing about it, Craig, what I like about that bottom of the order, we have some experience there with Gomez and Betancourt that have been in those situations, played every day. But Uni, I'm really impressed with. He's showing a lot of patience, not swinging at the first pitch all the time, and really working the count.
Well, as you saw, they together they had 4 hits in Milwaukee's attack, and the 10 runs last night. Kyle Loesch would love to see that here this evening. He's looking for his first win in a Brewer uniform. BN Rock are waiting for the first pitch and you when we come back.
At Miller Park on a Wednesday night, coming off a win last night against the reigning world champion Giants. And they take to the field behind right-hander Kyle Loesch. He'll be making his second start here at Miller Park. His third start overall. There's Bruce Bochy back in the background. His 7th season as the Giants skipper. He is the owner of 2 World Series championship rings. He's won 2 of the last 3. And Bochy's Piggly Wiggly batting order today. Angel Pagan leads off, Marco Scutaro, then Pablo Sandoval. In the middle of the order, it's Posey, Pence, and Brandon Belt. Gregor Blanco, Brandon Crawford, who homered last night, and Ryan Vogelsong. Same position players as we saw in the Giants lineup last night.
Well, Kyle Loesch makes his 3rd start for the Brewers. He's pitched well each of his first 2. 7 innings against the Cardinals, 2 earned runs. He picked up a loss. And his career against the Giants, 5 starts, a 3-2 record, and a 378 earned run average. And the Menards defense for the Brewers, same lineup as a night ago for Ron Renicky. Yuniesky Betancourt making his 6th start at first base this year. He's made 4 starts at third base.
And Betancourt had the big hit yesterday, the grand slam. That capped off what was an 8-run inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. They hung on to win it by a final of 10-8, and a nice win for the Brewers. They've won back-to-back games. Tim Welke will call the balls and strikes tonight. Jerry Meals, Marvin Hudson, and Jordan Baker will be the base umpires. And this is one of those nights when we praise the roof. This game would be in serious doubt if this was an outdoor venue, but the roof is closed up. It is very nice inside Miller Park, and we will have Major League Baseball for you.
Yeah, rainouts in Chicago and Minnesota tonight, but we have a game.
So Angel Pagan ready to lead off. Giants center fielder. Pagan last night had 2 hits, had an RBI. He walked twice. He was on base 4 times last night in his 5 plate appearances. And Loesch ready to work. His first offering is down low, a little outside, and away we go tonight. Now, run support is the key for Kyle Loesch. He has been given exactly 1 run in his first 2 starts.
Well, there's not a whole lot that Loesch can do about that, but he's been outstanding. Has not walked a batter. He's struck out 7. And it'll be interesting to see what his pattern is going to be. Talked about it on the open against Arizona. A lot of change-ups against the Cardinals. Relied a lot on the fastball.
There's a strike to Pagan. Now Kyle Loesch certainly hoping to exercise a postseason demon from a year ago, facing the San Francisco Giants. He pitched in Game 7 of the NLCS, and it was a rough outing for Loesch, who overall had a pretty good postseason last year. But if you look at the combined numbers, it was that 1 start in Game 7 against San Francisco that really roughed up his earned run average in the postseason last year. He went 2 innings, gave up 5 runs, and Pagan sends that one deep to right. Is it fair or foul? That is a foul ball. Pagan hit that a mile, but just got out ahead of it enough.
Well, he got it all. An 89-mile-per-hour fastball. He turned on it on a 3-1 count. Well, let's see. Does it disappear behind the pole? No, it does not.
And the 3-2 is in the air to left. Ryan Braun eases over, and that's how the day starts for Kyle Loesch. Hey, don't forget, if you're here looking for the Milwaukee Bucks, they play their final game of the regular season. They are on our air. They're on the alternate channel, Fox Sports Wisconsin, and these are some of the carriers and the channel numbers for these carriers. If you don't see your carrier on there, just log on to foxsportswisconsin.com to find out the channels in your area. So the Bucks and the Brewers on the family of Fox Sports Wisconsin networks tonight. And we wish the Bucks the best of luck as they march toward the postseason, locking up that 8 seed in the NBA playoffs. Marco Scutaro, he was one of the primary nemesis for Kyle Loesch in the postseason last year. Had a big game in Game 7, 3 for 4. Loesch lasted just those 2 innings, but in his first start against San Francisco in the LCS last year, which was Game 3, he pitched pretty well.
Yeah, Scutaro hit everybody in the postseason last year, not just Kyle Loesch.
Bouncing ball towards Segura. His first chance, no problem for out number 2. Well, Gene Segura, he has continued to impress. It was interesting hearing Craig Counsell, who joined us on our Brewers Live pregame show, talk about Segura and how talented he is, and I think he has surprised many, and certainly Counsell is one of the guys that those in the front office go to when they're talking about middle infielders.
He never really looks like he's going to nonchalant a ground ball or throw over to first base. I mean, he looks like he's focused and gives it his best effort each and every time.
Pablo Sandoval swinging away at the first pitch. Yeah, Craig Counsell will join us during our broadcast late in the game. You'll see him on the Brewers Live post game. He kind of looks like a TV guy, right? He had the suit on and everything.
Did a heck of a job, didn't he?
Nice.
Yes, he did.
So he's going to join us periodically this season, as much as Doug Melvin and Gord Ash will allow us to use him. He has a wealth of knowledge, and we're glad to have him on the air tonight. Look at him. He got video bombed earlier today by Chorizo. Here's the 0-1 to Sandoval, who drove in 4 runs last night. Sandoval, such a good hitter. The World Series MVP from a year ago. Hit 3 home runs in a single World Series game last year. That was game 1 against the Detroit Tigers. He's one of 4 players to hit 3 home runs in a World Series game. How about this list? Sandoval joins Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson, and Albert Pujols. And down he goes on strikes as Loesch works a 3-up, 3-down first. Kyle Loesch retired the side in order with a strikeout in the top half. And Renicky putting out the same lineup that we saw yesterday. Why wouldn't you? An offensive explosion yesterday for the Brewers, setting single season highs for runs in an inning and a game. Piggly Wiggly batting order tonight is Aoki, Segura, and Braun. Middle of the order for Renicky is Weeks, Lucroy, and Gonzalez, with Gomez, Betancourt, and Loesch rounding it out.
And Riley Vogelsong has had a rough start to his season. You can see what he did his last time out. 6 innings, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, but he did pick up a victory, making his 7th career start against Milwaukee. He's 3-2. And let's check out the Menards defense for the San Francisco Giants. Just like the Brewers, same defensive alignment as last night. Pablo Sandoval made some nice plays, one coming in, one going down the line in yesterday's game. Your Menards defense for the Giants.
So Vogelsong against Nori Aoki. These two competitors reuniting here in Milwaukee tonight. They faced each other in Japan. Vogelsong spent 3 years pitching in Japan. And I was asking Aoki about what he remembers of Vogelsong. He said a guy who had great command, always kept his team in the game. And he's anxious to swing the bat against him once again over here in the United States.
He played in 2 teams in Japan, his 4th major league team, these Giants. 3rd season with San Francisco. He's had 2 good years in a row for Bruce Bochy.
Aoki has been a stabilizer at the top of that batting order. A .340 batting average coming in, and an on-base percentage of .431 as he slaps that one to left, and it's going to be run down by Blanco. Well, they had him well positioned in left field, and Blanco with his great speed able to make that play.
Yeah, that's kind of a dangerous thing to have your left fielder so shallow and pull around toward the line, because Aoki's been driving the ball in the left center with some pop. Well, they were right there where they should have been, or had to be, on that swing of the bat. That's been the impressive thing about Aoki, his power so far this year. Driving baseball, left center around to the right field line.
Yeah, Aoki hit a home run last night, has 2 for the season. Here's Gene Segura now, the league's leading hitter. Segura comes in with a batting average of .415. He has an on-base percentage of .455, and he's hit for some power as well. As a home run to center field this season. I don't think the Brewers were expecting much power from Segura.
And what he's done, he's stayed on the baseball very well, taking his walks, which you would figure he's not going to get too many, batting in front of Ryan Braun. And driving the ball up the middle and to the opposite field. That's his game.
He's found a pretty comfortable spot in the 2 spot on the order in front of Braun. 2-0. Segura laces it foul. Now the Brewers come in with a record of 4-8. And in the games that Segura has played, he has hit safely in all but 1. He's hit safely in 10 of his 11 games. And in 6 of those 10 games, he has multiple hit games. He and Chris Johnson of the Atlanta Braves tied at the top of the National League batting average leaderboard.
I think Carl Crawford off to a pretty good start with the Dodgers. Healthy again is Crawford.
Now the Brewers are going to see the Dodgers on the next road trip. A trip out west to San Diego and Los Angeles. Dodgers are a little banged up themselves, especially in the pitching ranks, with Greinke on the DL with a broken collarbone. And Chris Capuano injuring himself last night in a start, a calf injury. Segura up to the right side, and that is Scutaro at second base for out number 2. So here comes Ryan Braun now with 2 away. And all eyes on Braun. He is a slumping hitter now, and something he has never done in his major league career. We saw last night, and that was strike out 4 times in a game. Rock, obviously he is being burdened by that neck injury. His range of motion is not at 100%. He's playing through it. He realizes his bat is an important bat to have in the lineup, but he doesn't look like he's comfortable at the plate right now.
No, what he's doing is he's jumping out a little bit. He's not waiting back like we know Braun can do, using those quick hands because of the neck injury. Feels as though he's got to start a little bit quicker, and because of that, he's swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, getting fooled. That's not going to last forever. Doesn't take long for Ryan Braun to get things together.
Now Braun did have a big home run in St. Louis in his final at bat. He hit a 2-run home run, or his last hit I should say, a 2-run home run for Braun against the Cardinals. That snapped a 32 inning consecutive scoreless streak for the Brewers offense, and a game the Brewers would come back and win. Braun took a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Trevor Rosenthal and sent one out to right field.
And already in this at bat, he looks like he's staying back a lot better. A couple of pitches that Vogelsong has given him been pretty close, but off the plate.
2 balls and a strike on Braun, and it goes to 3-1. Now Vogelsong was a star in the postseason last year for the Giants. Big part of their success last year. He won 3 games in the postseason. Had an ERA in the low 1s in his 4 postseason starts. Everything is low at the bottom of the zone against Braun. That was right down the middle, and Braun cuts and misses. 3-2 the count.
Straight as a string. And Vogelsong, not a hard thrower. He relies on sink. That one a 4-seamer. And Ryan swings right through it.
Full count to Braun with 2 away. Loesch working a scoreless top of the first with a strikeout. And Vogelsong ready to deal the payoff pitch, and it misses outside, ball 4. So Braun is aboard for Ricky Weeks. Well, after After an 0 for 5 night last night, Braun reaches. Now, normally he is a threat to steal. I'm not sure about the running game for Ryan Braun at this point because of the neck injury, but we'll see. That'll give us a good indication of how well he is feeling tonight.
Yeah, Vogelsong, pretty good move to first base. He gets rid of it quickly. Posey, an average throwing arm behind home plate.
Now, Ricky Weeks had a good cut. Well, the Brewers have been searching for production in their cleanup spot, and Weeks delivered that last night. He started that 8-run inning in the 3rd inning last night with a ground rule double that produced 2 runs. Those 2 RBIs, the first for Weeks as a cleanup hitter. Brewers are sorely missing Aramis Ramirez. 0-2 the count on Weeks.
Yeah, Ricky not comfortable in that number 4 spot, but he realizes that he's really the only option that Renicky has. It's tough to replace your cleanup hitter, and the Brewers are trying the best they can.
Ramirez still healing and going through his rehab process with a left knee injury. Eligible to return from the disabled list on the 22nd, but I don't think we'll see Aramis Ramirez on the 22nd. But we could see Aramis maybe towards the end of the next road trip, which will take the Brewers through San Diego and LA. And certainly by the time the Brewers return to Miller Park as we get to late April. Brewers have 2 dates in mind, end of April for Ramirez and the end of May for Corey Hart. And then they're just hoping to weather the storm until they get the 2 big sluggers back.
Yeah, in hopes that no more injuries pop up. They're due to stay healthy for a while.
And Milwaukee is missing a lot of offense. Ball 2 strikes, and Weeks strikes out. So Vogelsong goes up the ladder and picks up a strikeout, a scoreless first. We're off and running at Miller Park. We head to the 2nd.
Headed back at the stadium. Kyle Loesch getting settled in very nicely with his new ball club. He told me he likes what he sees here, like his experience with the Cardinals. He says there are a lot of guys on this club with playoff experience, and he likes that. There's a winning culture here. But more importantly, Kyle told me that he and his wife, his 6-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter, have just moved into a new home. He says the kids were going crazy being stuck in a hotel for 3 weeks. Guys a lot saner in the Loesch household these days.
I'm guessing the kids, if they're going crazy, I'm sure mom was ready to pull the plug on that.
All that time in a hotel room. Wow.
That's good that he gets settled, and you forget, the human being behind the player, and certainly getting settled as a veteran player who has a family and finally able to settle into the community a little bit should do him wonders moving forward. Now, Loesch has been very good in his first 2 starts. Off to a good start tonight with a 3-up 3-down inning, and now facing Buster Posey to start the second.
First time through the batting order, at least the first 4 hits. First 4 hitters, a lot of fastballs from Loesch. A 2-seamer, the 4-seamer. Keeping it down in the strike zone. There's that cutter.
Loesch is typically on the attack. He throws a lot of strikes, and hitters know that. And usually hitters are up there swinging early in counts. Against Kyle Loesch, that is back off Loesch. Segura barehands it, throw to first, and it's in time. What a great play by Segura on the carom off of Kyle Loesch.
Well, he had the right guy running down to first base, the Giants catcher, but boy, Posey hit that one right on the nose and got a piece of the leg of Loesch right over to Segura, who, look at that throw, bare hand pickup and all in one motion on its way to first base. That kid looks pretty good at short. Where does it get him? Back on the, looks like the hamstring.
Loesch immediately shoot everybody away who was thinking it could be an injury, and a high five for Segura as he runs by. Put out officially goes 1-6-3 as it caroms off Loesch.
Yeah, Segura ended up around home plate after getting that throw off.
Hunter Pence now with 1 away. And a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pence, who is the Giants' top home run hitter to start the year. Has 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. His numbers at Miller Park, pretty good. 6 homers, 23 ribbies in 41 games. Hitting near 300. Lines that one right to Weeks, who pulls it down. Oh, a couple of beautiful defensive plays here by the middle infielders.
Yeah, perfectly timed lead. Hunter Pence just hits that one a ton. You see Ricky shading up the middle. He doesn't even have to move, just to jump, and he keeps it in the glove. Well, a couple of atom balls here in the second inning for Loesch. Hang with him, Hunter.
He's seen it before.
Can't hit it any harder than that.
So 2 quick outs here for Loesch, and that'll bring up Brandon Belt. Take strike 1. Well, Brandon Belt was mired in a bit of a slump. He was 0 for 8 at the plate until he got a hit last night, and then he ended up with 3 hits last night and 2 runs batted in. A thinking man's pitcher, Kyle Loesch, and he seems like he always has thoughts about not just the next pitch, but the pitch after that. He's not going to need it. A strikeout of Brandon Belt. Kyle Loesch with 2 excellent defensive plays by the Keystone Combo. Works a 1-2-3 inning.
6 Mile Creek in Wanakee. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
A good crowd on hand tonight on a Wednesday night. Don't forget, tomorrow it's a day game here at Miller Park. A little matinee baseball on a Thursday afternoon. And tomorrow's start time is 12:10 for the first pitch. We'll be on the air, Brewers Live at 11:30. Breakfast with Craig Kishon and Davey Nelson, right? Sort of.
Who was it that told us today there was a noon game? I did not know that.
That would be Mike Faulkner, stats man to the Stars.
A lot of noon games during the week in April and May, right?
So you got to keep that in mind. I want you here on time tomorrow.
I'm going to keep that in mind.
Lucroy leads off for the Brewers here in the bottom of the second inning. Lucroy started the season 0 for his first 13 at the plate, but he has really come on since. He's 10 for his last 26. Last night Lucroy had 2 hits. He was 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. He gave the Brewers the lead in the third inning, a lead they would not relinquish. Although there were 5 consecutive innings to finish that game last night where the Giants had the tying run at the plate. 5 straight innings. Even though the Brewers at one point had a 9-3 lead. It was not easy.
Well, Ron Renneke had to use 6 pitchers to get through last night's game. You mentioned that 9-3 lead early on.
And Lucroy chases one. Breaking ball gets Lucroy second strikeout for Vogelsong. Say a reminder, this year Fox Sports Supports is proud to partner with Stomp Out Bullying, the leading national anti-bullying organization for kids and teens in the U.S. Stomp Out Bullying focuses on preventing bullying from and all forms of digital abuse. It educates against racism and hatred, deters violence in schools and online, and helps at-risk students. So we invite you to learn more. StompOutBullying.org. And we have those lapel pins on. We'll continue to wear them to raise awareness every Wednesday. Here's Alex Gonzalez with one away. Gonzalez had a hit yesterday off Zito. Still trying to get his back together, Rock. He's certainly behind the game as far as his bat. Remember, he missed most of the season last season. He played just 1 month before a knee injury. And so you miss a year essentially without facing big league pitching. That's going to set you back a little bit.
Especially when you get up there in age. I mean, Gonzalez toward the end of his career. Got a few years left, I would imagine, but you miss a year at his age and it's going to affect you a lot more. Plus the nature of his injury, he wasn't able to do much.
Slow roller out to second. Scooter roll with plenty of time. Takes care of the 36-year-old Gonzalez, and 2 up and 2 down for Vogelsong.
Although he's getting up there in age, I mean, the Brewers right now very glad that they have him and Uni Betancourt. Where would they be without those 2 guys? Things have been tough enough.
Yeah, 2 guys that probably had no idea they'd be playing this much, and in the particular positions they are currently playing. Gonzalez at third tonight, Betancourt at first base. Carlos Gomez with 2 away. We talked about it during our Brewers Live pregame show. The fact that the bottom of the order was really the key last night. You don't go through too many games with the Brewers when Ryan Braun goes 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. And you can call it a success story as a team, but that was the case last night.
Scoring that many runs. That third inning actually jump started by a Willie Peralta leadoff single. So even the pitcher got into the act last night.
Gomez had 3 hits last night, including a home run. Gets under this one. Easy enough for Hunter Pence. And Vogelsong and Loesch off to good starts. 2 scoreless on the board. We head to the third.
We move into the top half of the third inning. Mark Concannon with Brewers Chief Operating Officer Rick Schlesinger. And Rick, a big homestand. The Giants here for the next couple of days. Then the Cubs come in, and we've had fewer visitors from south of the state line recently.
Yeah, about 80% of the tickets for this Cubs series were bought by people from Wisconsin. It should be a decidedly Brewers crowd, which is what our fans want. And, we like home field advantage, and especially against the Cubs. We want to make sure that our Brewers fans are here. They're going to be here in force.
Sunday, a little old school bobblehead with George Scott.
One of my favorites from my childhood. The first baseman, he's got the second baseman's teeth around his neck, and he's got 5 gold gloves. It's a great bobblehead. It looks just like him, and I know our fans will be thrilled to get it.
And one of the most popular promotions you guys have, the 5-county 5-day event coming up, right?
As a thank you to the fans who helped build this ballpark, half-price tickets for everybody in the 5 counties. That's the 3-game series against the Pirates and the first 2 games of the Cardinals. So great value, great baseball, and we're going to expect good crowds for those games.
Rick Schlesinger, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Mark.
Guys, I can't wait to see the Boomer bobblehead this weekend.
Yeah, they look good, and it's got all of his gold gloves. And, it's got the sideburns working. The Boomer, outstanding first baseman for the Brewers.
Yeah, he could pick it.
Gregor Blanco, a little flare out to Segura, and Kyle Loesch keeps it rolling here. He's retired the first 7 Giants. Has a couple of strikeouts thus far. Any particular pattern you're picking up on with Kyle Loesch compared to his last start?
Well, it's pretty much the same as what he did against the Cardinals. You remember his first start against the Diamondbacks. It was an awful lot of off-speed pitches, change-ups, cutters, curveballs, those types of things. A different lineup than the Cardinals. The Cardinals expecting a lot of change-ups. Those kind of changed up on him, and I would imagine that he thought long and hard about that start he made against the Giants, in the postseason. What he did right, what he did wrong, what he figures that the Giants are going to be looking for today.
Well, you think about his first 3 starts as he faces Brandon Crawford here, and I would venture to say that you couldn't have more backstories to his first 3 starts of the season than any pitcher going right now. Think about this. His first start was against Arizona. There's not much going on with the Diamondbacks, but that was his first start as a Milwaukee Brewer. And it was here at Miller Park. He had only made 1 spring training start, so he had a lot going on with that particular outing. Passed it with flying colors. And then he goes to St. Louis, and you mentioned it in the open that day that there was certainly some things to bury with the Cardinals. Kyle Loesch felt like he had pitched well enough to earn a contract offer from the Cardinals. He only got a 1-year deal. He was looking for more of a 4-year deal after a 16-3 season last year. So he had something to prove, and he pitched very well in that game. And now you got a team he's facing who roughed him up in the postseason in Game 7 last year. Now with 2 outs, we take a look at tonight's Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game, and some good glove work early by the 2 in the middle of the diamond. Gene Segura on the carom off of Loesch, and Ricky Weeks pulling a hit away from Hunter Pence. That one had a chance to split the alley, perhaps.
He grabbed that baseball, did Segura, with his bare hand and threw it as hard as he could, and it was right on the money. He has been impressive so far. It's early on, but one of the early returns on Segura, it's short, very good.
Segura, too many at-bats last year to make him a rookie this season. He's a second-year player officially. Made the jump straight from Double-A to the big leagues last year. He started 1 game with the Angels last season prior to the trade to Milwaukee and the Zach Greinke deal. Here he and Ariel Pena and Johnny Hellwig were the 3 pieces. As Loesch makes quick work of Vogelsong. 9 up, 9 down, 3 strikeouts for Kyle Loesch.
A large part of their postseason run came on the arms of their starting pitching. So tonight in our AT&T Twitter poll, we asked Brewers fans to weigh in. Which NL team has the best starting rotation? Is it the Giants, Dodgers, Nationals, Cardinals, or the Phillies? And BA and Rock, we will hear from fans and we'll update you throughout the game. And fans can tweet us at FS Wisconsin, as always.
All right, thank you, Sophia. Well, I think the Giants make a pretty good case. Dodgers did a lot of work this offseason to improve their starting rotation. The additions of Greinke, and they have a perennial Cy Young candidate in Clayton Kershaw, the reigning Cy Young Award winner.
And you look at a lot of those teams that they're talking about, you know, a lot of them pitch in ballparks that are pretty good pitchers' parks. The Giants, the Dodgers, Nationals, not too bad. Of course, not Philadelphia, which it makes it a lot more difficult. So you can see what they've been able to do since 2011. The Phillies at the top.
Well, I'm going to stick with the Nationals for now. I think they have the best rotation and one of the bright young stars in the game in Strasburg. But the Giants are right there. But what's interesting about San Francisco is they are 9-5, and Kane has struggled. Vogelsong has a win, but he struggled in his first 2 starts with a high ERA. And Lincecum has a win also, but hasn't been Lincecum-like. Betancourt hammers one into the gap in left center. Did he get it? It hits the top of the wall and out. Yuniesky Betancourt is on fire at the plate. His second home run in as many nights. A grand slam last night, a solo shot tonight puts the Brewers on top.
Yep, on a 0-1 fastball, 90 miles an hour, and Betancourt centers on it. Vogelsong relies on good sink. That ball stayed up. And Uni able to drive it out of here into left center. And four-seamer, very hittable for Uni. He lights it up. He lights it out over the plate. And the Brewers on the board.
Well, you could hear it bounce off the top of the wall and into the Brewers bullpen. Uni B with 2 home runs on the season gives him 7 RBIs. Has 5 ribbies the last 2 games. And with the regular playing time, the consistent offense has followed for Betancourt.
Betancourt up to 286 now. Driving in some runs in a very tough spot in the batting order, the 8th spot.
Kyle Loesch takes a ball, 1-2 the count. Another look at Betancourt's home run swing.
Look at how nice and easy that swing is, and he's able to keep that bat in the hitting zone a long time. And just jumps off his bat, got it right in the sweet spot.
As Loesch is down on strikes. So the first out, 3rd strikeout for Vogelsong.
A very popular pickup at the end of spring training for the Brewers.
I was talking to Ron Renicky about Yuniesky, and I was just asking him. Obviously, Renicky was a first-year manager in 2011, and Betancourt was his everyday shortstop. But he said, you know, the players really love this guy, and they respond well to him. He's one of the favorites in that clubhouse. Always a guy who has a quick smile. He's very funny. And that was good to hear. He did not come to Milwaukee with that reputation. Originally from Kansas City. And he came with Zach Greinke to the Brewers in that big trade prior to the 2011 season.
And labels can be a dangerous thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Everything you hear about a guy that is on a different team, you're going to hear a lot of things, but it's all about how he acts when he's on your club and when he's around you, right? Heard the same thing about Aramis Ramirez.
Nori Aoki back to the top of the Brewers order. 1-0 Milwaukee on the Betancourt home run. Aoki flew out to left his first time up, hit a little flare to left field. Blanco made a nice running catch on him. Broken bat, slow roller out to Scutaro, and there is out number 2. So you got to go behind the numbers a little bit for Vogelsong in his last start against the Chicago Cubs. The overall numbers against the Cubs, he went 6 innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. But he did pick up the win in that game. It was a 7-6 Giants victory. And Vogelsong finished that game by retiring the last 10 hitters he faced. So he ended up going 6 innings at Wrigley. Things were a little messy for him early, but he settled down nicely for the Giants, and San Francisco is hoping that's the Vogelsong that they will see tonight against Milwaukee.
Well, a lot of times that's what happens. I mean, you have a guy like Vogelsong who relies on the sinker, and you'd like to get him early before that ball starts to dip as it gets to home plate. Sometimes they start out first couple innings, ball's flat, like the pitch that he threw to Betancourt.
Segura down in the count, and he fouls that one away. 0-2 the count on Gene Segura. The Giants made a transaction today. Jeremy Atfelt went on the disabled list, and they brought up a guy by the name of Heian Machi.
He spells it like that right there, right?
Spells
Gene?
it just like it.
Heian?
Heian. So that was good fodder. Pre-game discussion.
Who told you that?
That would have been Dwayne Kuiper.
Oh, then it's got to be true.
Giants television.
I've never known Dwayne Kuiper to try and make you look bad.
No, he just said, we have a guy named Heian. What do you have? It's hard to do a Kuiper voice, but it was something like that.
We have a Gene.
0-2 the count to Heian. Outside for a ball. 1-2 the count.
You are very committed. You're getting yourself a good reputation around baseball as a guy that is very diligent in pronouncing names correctly.
I just ask him.
You've renamed a number of players in the big leagues.
I just ask him how do you say your name? That's all.
And if they don't own that, what do they own, right?
If you don't own the pronunciation of your name, Bill Schrader, you don't own anything.
That's right. So I know what it's like.
Yes, you do. Used to play for the Packers, right?
All right. Wide receiver.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Vogelsong delivers to Segura, and he fouls another one off. This one sinker after another on Segura. Now the Giants' Gene is Heian, and he is a relief pitcher. And it's a good chance we'll see him in today's game. Wow, he fouled that one off his right thigh.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
Well, he's got that sinker working. I mean, you can just keep throwing them. Beat him into the ground. You beat him off your body. And Vogelsong will throw a curveball, a cut fastball, and that 2-seamer.
Well, he's hanging tough. Segura in a 2-2 count. Braun is on deck. And Vogelsong and Posey having a tough time connecting on the signals. 35-year-old Ryan Vogelsong, a Pennsylvania native. Very similar to Kyle Loesch, in a guy who has resurrected his career. Kyle Loesch continued to pitch in the big leagues, and he found something new and something better when he went to the Cardinals. Vogelsong had to go to Japan for 3 years to find a new way of pitching. Started throwing a 2-seam fastball and trusting his breaking stuff.
A lot of pitchers that go over to Japan, they come up with that 2-seamer. And pitchers that before they went there relied on, just trying to blow the ball by hitters, and you go over to Japan and a lot of guys change.
On the ground to Crawford, and one shortstop to another to end the inning. How about Uni B? He's on fire right now. Last night in the third inning hit a grand slam off Barry Zito to cap off an 8-run inning. Tonight, Betancourt does it again. He goes deep off the top of the wall. And the Brewers lead 1-0. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin, and by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Got to get your famous racing sausages down in the team store. Wednesday night here at Miller Park. Roof is closed up, raining and cold outside. Kyle Loesch has a lead for the first time as a Brewer. Brewers have only given him 1 run of support leading up to this start, but Betancourt with that home run last inning, the second run, and now for the first time pitching ahead in a game. Loesch will face the top of the order here. He's retired the first 9 as Pagan chops it foul.
Hey, watch this guy, Angel Pagan, and it's impressive how he covers the plate. They pitch him in, he'll pull it down the right field line, and that wasn't a bad pitch by Loesch. The pitch out away from looked like it wasn't even a strike, and nearly doubled over the head of Gonzalez at third. Off to a nice start.
Well, Pagan, longtime New York Met, now in his second year with the Giants. And a cue shot, easy 4 weeks for out number 1. Boy, Loesch is really dialing them up.
Sorry about that, partner. Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, fans, come out to Miller Park as these Milwaukee Brewers host the Chicago Cubs this weekend. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. I'm sorry, I get off to a bit of a quick start.
I saw you take a deep breath. I was trying to finish it really fast.
Yeah. Just cut me off next time. It's okay.
I love the enthusiasm, though. Hey, fans.
Yeah.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Got to get him out here.
Absolutely. Here's Marco Scutaro with 1 away. He bounced out to short his first time up. You know what's interesting about the Giants? They win the World Series last year and had very little turnover, and you think that would be commonplace, but you usually don't see teams stay together after a World Series title. The Giants, of their current 25-man roster, they have 21 players that were on that World Series roster last season.
Well, the other thing that's amazing about that, I mean, able to bring them back. It's not just that the Giants wanted them back. It's another thing to have all the players, you know, either have contract situations where they come back or elect to come back. and have the money to keep them.
Well, and all of their key players, you look around their starting lineup on any given night, and that's pretty much the starting lineup that the Giants had last season. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Scutaro, who chases one, and down he goes on strikes. A guy who rarely strikes out, and he's got 2 in 2 games as we send it down to Mark Concannon.
BA, the team's minor league report. Brock Kelgard 2 for 4 last night in Huntsville's loss to Tennessee. Brock now hitting .333. This guy is a 6'5", 235-pound outfielder. Zach Menagerie, the Brewers director of pro scouting, told me Kelgard has incredible raw power. He called him a right-handed Russell Branyan, but he's a better athlete. Says he still needs to make a little bit more consistent contact. But I love that image. A right-handed Russell the Muscle, perhaps headed to Milwaukee.
He's a lot bigger than Russell Branyan. I tell you, you talk about just like Mark used the phrase raw power. I mean, Russell Branyan hit some of the longest home runs you're ever going to see. Contact was an issue for Russell, but when he got a hold of one, look out.
So he still has some of the longest home runs here as Sandoval gets sawed off. And a pop up to Ricky Weeks, and Kyle Loesch is picking them up and putting them down so far. 12 in a row he's retired to start this game. Head to the bottom of the 4th, and we want to remind you about the annual 5K Sausage Run Walk. It's scheduled for July 20th. Registration is open. Sign up today at brewers.com/5K. This year we encourage participants to help raise funds in support of military families whose loved ones have been injured while serving our country. Proceeds will support the soon-to-be-built Fisher House, Wisconsin. I know a project near and dear to your heart, Rock. And Brock was the celebrity starter last year, and some members of our crew. There's Lindsay in the middle, and Dave, and there's Maggie in there as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's always a great time, and it's just nice to see green on the trees and the sun shining and shirt sleeves. That's going to happen here at some point, folks.
Yeah, that Fisher House, a really good, a good charity to support. Building a facility for families to be able to come in and have lodging for their soldiers who are getting some treatment and going through therapy, things like that. Great cause.
Ryan Braun leads off here in the Brewer half of the 4th inning. Just 1 hit in the game, and it produced the run, Betancourt's home run last inning, and it was a leadoff home run. So Vogelsong has given up a hit, a run, and a walk. Meanwhile, Kyle Loesch has 12 in a row retired. He has a strikeout in each of the first 4 innings. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Braun.
There's that cut fastball from Vogelsong. He hasn't thrown too many. And he put that one exactly where he wanted it, right on the outside corner. And you see the rotation on it, going away from Braun.
And that's the pitch that really changed Vogelsong's career path. That cut fastball. And it's amazing what one pitch going in that direction, away from a right-handed hitter, will do to all of his other pitches, which are all the same, but it just makes everything better. Certainly makes his sinker better, a pitch that goes the opposite direction.
Yep, in on the right-hander, the cutter goes away, nothing straight out of his hand.
2-2, and it's outside ball 3. Braun walked his last time up. And during this slide here for Ryan Braun, pitchers have been able to get him to chase away and even up and away, something you don't see Braun do much of. Back to the cutter. 3-2 pitch, and Braun takes ball 4. Didn't miss by much.
I'm seeing it a lot better tonight. Waiting back, it's all about seeing the ball out of his hand, and Braun able to take ball 4.
So here in the bottom of the 4th, time for our AT&T U-verse rewind. And very good pitching so far. Vogelsong coming off a win against the Cubs. Kyle Lohse is winless this year. He's coming off a loss against the Cardinals, but he pitched well. There's the lone tally. A long ball by Yuniesky Betancourt. AT&T U-verse rewind. And here we are in the bottom of the 4th with Braun at first and Weeks at the plate.
Even when the Giants know that Ryan Braun's not seeing the baseball like he normally does and not driving it, they're still very careful with him up there at the plate. Vogelsong really hasn't given him much to hit. And that's why it's so important to have Ryan in the lineup, as long as he takes pitches off the plate. His presence makes everybody else better.
Now Braun looks like he wants to run. Stays put. Weeks takes a ball upstairs. When Braun was aboard in the first inning, he actually did take off on the swinging strike 3 by Weeks, which is a good sign. If he's running, that means he's feeling good enough to run. Brewers always want to try to put runners in motion. And it's not just about the stolen bases either. It's an aggressive base running philosophy that Renicky brought in from day one. That was one of the first things he brought to the table in spring training of 2011. He wants guys pushing the envelope against outfielders. He wants them going first to third.
And you don't have to be fast to do that. You just have to have good instincts on the bases.
Weeks pops it up shallow center. Pagan is coming in for it, and there is out number 1. I'll never forget when Renicky told us in one of the first interviews we did with him, he said back in 2011, he said, look, we're going to have some times when runners are going to get thrown out by a mile and it's going to look bad, but over the course of a season we're going to quote unquote steal a lot more runs being aggressive on the base paths than we're going to give up.
Yep, and Ed Cedar, third base coach, has been very aggressive since he's been over there. And he put the pressure on the defense, a base hit into left and a ball that you wouldn't normally try and score on. Maybe have him rush or bobble it, make a bad throw. That's what they mean when they say put the pressure on the defense. And when you have that reputation, guys are going to try and be a little bit more quick than they normally are.
There are a lot of outfielders in the major leagues. If they don't throw particularly well, they will try to charge a baseball on a base hit as fast as they can to try to discourage a third base coach from sending a runner, and it works a lot. Outfielders are taught to go after a batted ball as aggressively as you can, and that sometimes will mean you won't have to make a throw. But the Brewers challenge that a lot, especially the third base. Lucroy would love to get Braun on the move here, and he takes off. Pitch is a strike. Throw to second is a strike. And Braun is caught stealing. First time this year he's been gunned down on a perfect throw from last year's MVP.
Yeah, not a very big arm. We're talking about velocity, but look how quickly he gets rid of it. Straight over the top. A good throw by Posey, and Scudero able to drop the tag on Braun. Quick release from Vogelsong, and that gives the catcher an opportunity, and just does get him at second base. Yep, you're out. You don't have to have a powerful throwing arm to throw on base runners. Your pitchers have to help you out, hold runners, and you got to get rid of it quickly and accurately.
Well, everybody talks about Posey's offense, and deservedly so, but he's an excellent defender as well. Pitching staff raves about how Posey calls a game and how he navigates through a game plan. He is the complete player, and I think if you polled most general managers, if you had to start a team right now, catchers would be high on the list. Guys like Yadier Molina and Buster Posey.
Yeah, just watch his feet. Watch how quickly his feet get in position to throw. A little bit of a jump step, very quick. Notice he doesn't get off the ground a whole lot. It's just kind of a shuffle step, and that gets everything else in position. And that's why he's able to get on top and make a good, straight, accurate throw to second. All starts with the feet, quick feet.
He was drafted as a shortstop, played short at Florida State, and still will occasionally play first base, and that's more of a design to keep his bat in the lineup. That's a subject that the Brewers have broached with Jonathan Lucroy. We saw Lucroy taking ground balls at first base in St. Louis. On days he doesn't catch, they'd like to have his bat in the lineup. That means you got to find a position for him.
And you can do that now when you have Blake Lally on the roster, another catcher. Yeah, you really don't want to have both of your catchers in the starting lineup at the same time if you can avoid it. But with Lally on the bench, he can play first, he can catch. Yeah, you're able to put them both in the starting lineup.
There's Blake Lally, still awaiting his Miller Park debut as a Brewer. 3-2 pitch. Lucroy spoils another one, foul. Well, Lally was doing some work prior to batting practice, tightening up the skills when you don't get a lot of playing time. Got to make sure you have things put in place.
Well, just working on blocking balls, and later on working on making throws to second base. Got to do it somehow. You see Martin Maldonado there too. Catchers love blocking balls, taking practice. Isn't that fun?
It is. Used to have a coach in college. He'd hit fungos. He'd sit you down and go about 50 feet away and just fire batted balls at you with a fungo bat.
Yeah, that's harsh.
I thought that was a little extreme.
Yeah.
Too bad I didn't have it on video.
But when you do that, a ball that, from a pitcher's nothing.
Right. No problem.
That's a piece of cake. We had a guy, John Felsky, in the Brewers organization in my first few years. We used to set up the pitching machine.
Dial it up at 100.
Dial it up and skip him off the plate. Good fun.
That one is in the air between the lines. And Scudero collides with Pence. It was an 11-pitch battle won by Vogelsong. 1-0 Brew Crew. We head to the fifth. 12 in a row to start the game tonight. And Rock, here's our carsoup.com email the booth question. Adam in Milwaukee asks, what's the best way to break in a new glove?
I just have to use it. You know, the more you use it, the softer it's going to be. You don't want to put a baseball in there and tie it up and, you know, put it under your mattress. You certainly don't want to put any oil on it, because what does oil do? It makes it heavy. That's the last thing you want, is a heavy glove. If it gets dirty, I always used to put shaving cream on my glove, spread it around, let it dissolve a little bit, wipe it off. Shaving cream with lanolin will soften the leather without making it heavy.
So there you go, Adam. And I know a lot of kids are getting ready for the baseball season, getting their gloves in gear. A lot of indoor training right now.
Yeah.
But the weather will turn soon enough, we hope. Buster Posey leads off for the Giants. And he hits that one hard to right. Back is Aoki with room. Aoki plays very deep and was able to make that catch with ease. And Posey hit the ball hard twice, nothing to show for it. Kyle Lohse has retired 13 in a row. He has a strikeout in each of the first 4 innings.
And Ricky Weeks has been busy. He's caught some pop-ups. He's caught a line drive, a ground ball. He's got 4 strikeouts, 1 in each of the first 4 innings. So being very efficient so far is Lohse at 48 pitches.
4 strikeouts, no walks for Lohse. And Lohse last year, a 16-game winner, had the best winning percentage in the big leagues last season. He was 16-3 for the Cardinals. And we were talking about Vogelsong reinventing himself over in Japan. Kyle Lohse did that in St. Louis with a 2-seam fastball. And he gives Dave Duncan, the pitching coach in St. Louis, much of the credit. But you got to give Lohse a lot of the credit too for realizing what he was doing was probably going to mean an early exit out of the big leagues, and so he changed by necessity, and he has become a very good pitcher in the big leagues. 0-2 pitch. Pence gets jammed. He pops it foul and out of play.
Yeah, it's one thing for a coach to recommend you do something. It's another one altogether for a pitcher, as he is in a game, whether it be spring training game or regular season, to believe in it and continue to work on it, which is what Kyle Lohse did. And it's become a very good pitch for him, and it's been a career changer.
Another 0-2, and Pence hits it hard right to Weeks. And they get him by a half a step, so 2 gone in this 5th inning.
I'll tell you, the Brewers' defensive alignments have been perfect this year. I mean, how many times have we seen a guy hit one right on the nose, but right at one of the Brewers infielders? Seen Segura playing up the middle. Ricky Weeks right there, shading a little bit in the hole. People wonder why batting averages are down. I think these scouting reports and video and hitters' tendencies have something to do with that. When you position a guy like the way the Brewers have been doing, like right now, Gene Segura way up the middle. On Brandon Belt, take away a base hit. Very rarely do you see infielders for the Brewers positioned where they historically have been over the years.
And it also helps when you have a pitcher who can execute a game plan and knows how he wants to pitch certain hitters. And Lohse certainly does that. I would imagine he's a fun guy to catch too.
Puts the baseball where you want it. You don't see Lucroy diving all over the place, missing by 17 inches. It's like a day off behind home plate.
Well, Kyle Lohse since 2011 has 30 victories, 30-12 with a 3.08 ERA, and 65 starts in the last 2 years. There's the first blemish of the night for Lohse. Brandon Belt draws a 2-out walk in the 5th.
Yeah, pretty good eye. I think he was full looking for something out over the plate, and Lohse tried to catch the inside corner. He took it and it missed. Check it out. What did it miss by? Yep, it missed. And Belt very thankful for it.
So that snaps a run of 14 consecutive retired by Loesch. And the Giants, for the first time tonight, have a base runner for Gregor Blanco. First time Loesch has pitched out of the stretch tonight. I'm wondering if what we saw out of Loesch in his first start, and so much off speed, so many changeups and cutters, I wonder if that was a byproduct of not having much spring training. You know, he only made that one start. You wonder about his arm strength. I think everyone was concerned how long he would be able to last, but he was just up there primarily throwing off-speed pitches.
I think a lot of it has to do with the type of lineup that you're facing. A bunch of free swingers for the Diamondbacks. Not so much for the Cardinals and the Giants.
Well, now it's 3-0. That one looked pretty close. 62% fastballs from Loesch here tonight. The two-seam fastball, which is the sinker, and the four-seamer. There's a strike. Brewers lead 1-0 on a Uni Betancourt home run back in the third. Loesch with 2 outs. Hitters count to Blanco, and he rips one foul. Gregor Blanco gave the Brewers a scare last night late in the game. He finished 0 for 5, but hit a missile out to right field with men on base. Would have given the Giants the lead. And he found an alley. There goes the runner Pence, or rather Belt, and this one's popped up to Braun. Easy play for him. And Kyle Loesch has retired 15 out of 16 batters for the Giants. Brewers coming up. It'll be Gonzalez, Gomez, and Uni B. 1-0 Crew.
Ozaki, Racine, Washington, and Waukesha counties can purchase half-price tickets to Brewers games against the Cardinals and Pirates. April 29th through May 3rd. Some restrictions apply. Save 50% on tickets at brewers.com/5county.
Brewers coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Vogelsong back on the mound. 1-0 Crew. There has been one hit in this game. Betancourt with a home run back in the 3rd inning. That's been it. 3rd inning was the big inning yesterday for the Brewers, scoring 8 runs in that inning. Betancourt had a grand slam in that third inning yesterday. Gonzalez down the left field line, hit pretty well. And that is a fair ball, one hop off the fence. Gonzalez on his way to second. And it's a leadoff double for the Brewers' third baseman.
Well, Alex able to get just enough of it. Sounded like he got in on his hands. He's able to pop the hips open on a two-seamer off the inside corner. And you can see that belt buckle facing Vogelsong. The hips, then hands, then bat. And does it beautifully there, keeping it fair down the line.
Just fair by inches. And Gonzalez starts it with an extra base hit. And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez now, who has had 6 hits in his last 2 games leading up to tonight's play. A 3-hit game on Sunday in St. Louis, 3 more last night. By that much, it was fair.
Yeah, a lot closer. That was more fair than the one Ricky hit yesterday.
That's right. That was right on the line.
Fair by a mile this time.
Gomez bunted for a hit yesterday. Giants expecting a bunt here. And Gomez pulls the bat back. That's a drive into right field. Pence, it's over his head. Gonzalez around third. He's going to try to score. He will score. Gomez racing his way to third. Belly flops for a triple. The old butcher boy works to perfection.
How about that one?
Brewers lead 2-0.
Now the Brewers fake the bunt. That draws in the infield or the outfield. Hunter Pence came in a few steps, and then Gomez drives one over his head. The old Jim Gantner play. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Cut fastball down the middle, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead. How about Gomez? That's not easy to do. Show bunt, pull it back, and hit a bullet to left or to right.
Nothing prettier than watching Gomez full throttle around the bases. His first triple of the season. He drives in a run. His 4th RBI makes it 2-0. And now the Giants bring their infield in with Betancourt at the plate.
How about the bottom of the order again tonight?
And that was the point of emphasis from last night's game. Hitters 5 through 9 producing 7 of the 10 RBIs in last night's game. Gomez pulls it back and off to the races. I remember last year when Gomez was coming back from a leg injury, and he was doing some running as he was preparing to get back to action, and the ballpark was empty. It was before batting practice, and he was healthy by that point, and he's one of those rare guys you can actually hear running. You can hear the stomping of the feet, and
yeah,
I mean, he is like incredibly fast. In the air to right. Boy, this should be fun here. Pence has a good arm. Gomez the speed. He's going to try it. The throw to the plate. One hop. Gomez safe at home. Looked like a pretty good throw, but Gomez sneaks under the tag. No tag really from Buster Posey, and the Brewers are up 3-0 now.
That's that aggressive base running that we've been talking about right there. A lot of teams are not going to send the runner on that. Pence has a very accurate throwing arm, and that wasn't even close. Let's just check it out. Betancourt not sure if he got it deep enough. One of the fastest guys in all of baseball. Look at the slide, making that tag for Posey much longer. Mr. Posey really no interest in blocking home plate. Yeah, and you really don't blame him.
Every time I see Posey is Kyle Loesch with a base hit back up the middle. And the hit parade is on here in the 5th. That's the 3rd of the inning.
Well, you just don't see too many catchers these days standing right there in front of home plate and taking a shot. You know, the Giants, I'm sure, have told Posey, do not do that. It's only 1 run. We need you for the entire year.
Now Posey was involved in a big collision 2 years ago, knocked him out for the season. Scott Cousins ran him over at home plate on a throw very similar to that, and you can understand why he's so far out in front of home plate. Meeting at the mound. Hey, don't forget, Fox Saturday Baseball returns this week. 3 great matchups. You got the Twins and the White Sox. Triple Crown winner Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers. They take on the Angels. Or you can see the Nationals and the Mets in New York. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Chevrolet, returns this week, 1:30 p.m. Central Time. So here is Aoki now. 2 runs are in on 3 hits. And 1 man out, a bouncer out to second. Scudero to the bag for 1. That's all the Giants will get. And now 2 gone. Kyle Loesch collects his first hit of the inning. He doesn't have to run the bases very long. Our first hit of the season for him.
Now you figure that this is going to be a running opportunity for Aoki.
Vogelsong and Loesch, our charter high-speed pitch, and 92 for each at the fastball velocity.
And you get thrown out here. Worst case scenario, you have Gene Segura to lead off the next inning. Nothing wrong with that. You try and get him into scoring position. And we'll see what the Brewers try to do.
Well, Aoki, at this point, the top base stealer the Brewers have. He's 3 for 3. Had 30 steals last year, which led all National League rookies.
Everything you do when Aoki takes off, you're probably going to see Scudero cover, and Segura very good at hitting the ball to the opposite field. Open up a hole.
Now we'll see what Vogelsong gives Segura. It's outside for a ball. Scudero and Crawford, very good tandem. Crawford settling into that shortstop role last year, the everyday shortstop. Scudero had a big postseason for the Giants. I saw that communication. Middle infielders, after they see the signals put down by the catcher, they'll hold the glove in front of their mouth as to shield that from the opposition, but that's to determine who's going to cover the bag.
Now, mouth open is a fastball, mouth closed, off speed pitch, or vice versa.
So Scudero would cover in this scenario, and that is a strike on the breaking ball. Most of the time, you'd see a second baseman cover the bag with a right-handed hitter. Most of the time. That's why most of the hit and runs work their best when it's into right field, but that's not always the case.
That has to do with the hitter and, you know, the type of pitcher that is out there on the mound. Now you see it, mouth open.
So now Crawford will cover, but Aoki doesn't go.
So it's mouth open fastball.
Well, Aoki will be running on this pitch. 3-2, 2 outs. Segura swings, a bouncer right back to Scudero, and a close play at first. They just get him. Segura flying down the line. The Brewers come up with a pair. Gonzalez started it with a double. Carlos Gomez, the butcher boy, slaps one over the head of Pence. He drives in a run, and then a sac fly from Betancourt to score the speedy Gomez. 3-0 Crew.
And every Friday night at Miller Park, fans 21 and older can get a Lowe's bleacher ticket and a free t-shirt for just $23. Visit brewers.com/beerpen for details.
Well, Kyle Loesch head to the 6th inning, and it'll be Brandon Crawford to lead off. Loesch has held the Giants hitless. He's given up just 1 walk. That's the only base runner tonight for Kyle Loesch. A 2-out walk last inning. He retired 14 in a row to start it. Has retired 15 out of 16 in this game. Loesch has 4 strikeouts. Had a strikeout in each of the first 4 innings tonight. He's actually been putting up some strikeout numbers so far. That gives him 11 Ks for the year as Crawford lines one to right and a base hit. And the first hit of the night for the Giants to start the 6th inning, and an appreciative crowd here at Miller Park.
And not a bad pitch by Kyle Loesch. Crawford able to go down and get one. Looked like a breaking ball that he hit hard into right. And down and in. That's the sweet spot for a lefty.
A changeup by Loesch. 10-game hitting streak for Crawford. Vogelsong gets the bunt down. A sacrifice for the Giants pitcher. That was a key inning for the Brewers in the 5th. Scoring a couple of runs and more production from the bottom of the order.
And I think David Nelson made a good point in Brewers Live pregame today, saying that the Brewers bottom of the order is very experienced. When you look at Gonzalez, Gomez, Betancourt, guys that have been in the big leagues, and that certainly helps you to get some production down there.
And some power down at the bottom of that order as well. Gonzalez, Gomez, Betancourt, all guys who can hit it out of the ballpark. And they have. Especially Betancourt, who is in the 8th spot. There's been some talk about Betancourt maybe moving up to hit cleanup. The Brewers getting very little production in that spot. But I think you made a good point. That's probably where Renicky is right now. That he swung the bat so well down there. Why move him? That's been an area of success. I don't think the Brewers manager, the way the Brewers have struggled to score runs to start this season, is willing to juggle a success story right now.
Yeah, you know, hitters find a comfort level, and you start messing with that, and all of a sudden the guys are going to stop hitting. It's more of a mental thing than you would think.
A strike to Pagan. 2-1. Giants back to the top of their order, and now the 3rd time through the batting order against Loesch. A good strike to ball ratio. Just 70 pitches as we play here in the 6th inning. A hot one fair. That is just over the bag, and this is going to bring in a run. Pagan's going to be held at first base. In the score is Crawford, and the shutout is gone for Kyle Loesch. RBI single for Pagan.
Yeah, change up, same result to Crawford, and now Pagan. Down and in. There's that change up. And just dropping the head of the bat on it, able to keep it fair, and the Giants on the board. Identical pitches, both resulting in base hits.
First base umpire Jerry Meals right there. Remember, it's where it crosses the bag, not where it lands. That second hop was in foul territory, but crossed over the bag. The entire base is in fair territory. So it was close, but a fair ball and an RBI single for Pagan.
There's your bounce. Clearly goes over first base after bouncing, and then the second bounce is foul, but it doesn't matter.
Marco Scutaro is 0 for 2. He struck out in the 4th inning. And a base hit to right. So the Giants starting to find some holes here. 3 hits in the inning.
Hey, now you got the troublesome part of this batting order coming up.
Well, a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Renicky has seen Loesch ease his way through the first 5 innings, running into trouble 3rd time through the batting order now. 3 hits in the inning, a run is in, 3-1 Brewers. And here is the dangerous Sandoval, the switch hitter.
There's still no activity down in that Brewers bullpen, showing a lot of confidence in Kyle Loesch. Why not? Pitch count in very good shape at 74. Used the bullpen quite a bit in last night's game.
Now the key hitter for Loesch, Sandoval, one of the top run producers out of the gates in the league. He is 3rd in the league in RBIs. 4 of those came last night. Sandoval has 14 driven in. John Buck of the Mets leads the National League with 19 RBIs. And then Brandon Phillips. And then Sandoval. Phillips drove in 3 runs tonight for Cincinnati. The Reds are leading the Phillies 11-2 in the 9th inning. Loesch trying to keep Sandoval at 14 RBIs. 2 on, 1 out. Giants have bounced into more double plays than any team in the big leagues. Loesch could use one here. Sandoval dumps one into left field. That's down, a base hit. And the bases are going to be loaded now for Buster Posey as Sandoval comes up with the 4th hit of the inning.
Yeah, pitch up and out away from him, and Sandoval really shortens up with 2 strikes. Just tries to get on top of it and dumps it out into left field. Pagan not sure if Braun was going to catch that baseball. Couldn't get a good break off of second and has to stay at third. These guys don't punch out much, do they? Which is why, you know, early in the game, Loesch was trying to attack him with a fastball, not trying to trick him with a changeup. They wait back, hit the ball where it's pitched, and very rarely swing and miss.
Well, Pagan had the double that, or rather the single that scored the run over the bag at first. Scudero single to right, and now Sandoval to the opposite field. Sandoval has extended his hitting streak to 10 games in a row. And Loesch in a jam here with 1 out, and the reigning MVP coming up, Buster Posey.
Who has grounded into 3 double plays so far this year. Loesch could use one.
Oh, Posey had a big cut. You saw the graphic. Posey has 1 career grand slam. That was right here at Miller Park in 2010. Hit that one off Chris Capuano. He was just placed on the disabled list by the Dodgers today with a calf injury. Posey's first year in the big leagues. Bases loaded, 1 out, the 0-1. Posey takes a strike. He fooled him with a fastball.
They're looking for something else, and he got a fastball right down the middle.
Oh, 0-2. Big pitch for Loesch. And Posey Fouls it away. Posey not only winning the MVP last year, but he was also the comeback player of the year. And he won a batting title last season.
And doing it in a ballpark that's not real easy to win a batting title.
He and Ryan Braun finished 1-2 in the MVP race. Another 0-2. Posey swings and misses. Kyle Lohse comes up with a huge strikeout for out number 2.
It looked as though Posey was looking fastball that entire at bat. Had a very good breaking pitch to swing at on the first pitch. Check it out, right down the middle. He fouls it straight back. Takes the fastball, fouls off the slider, and then Kyle Lohse able to get the fastball right by him, and it was right down the middle. So a little bit behind the heater.
Yeah, Posey off to a slow start this season. And Lohse takes advantage. Big strikeout, 2 gone. Here is Pence now. Swinging away at the first pitch. He fouls it off. Pence with 3 career grand slams. Lohse having to go through the heart of this Giants order with the bases loaded. And Pence slices that one into the seats. Activity in the Milwaukee bullpen. Left-hander Michael Gonzalez. And you figure he would have the next 2 hitters if Lohse cannot retire Pence. You got a couple of lefties. Matter of fact, 3 straight lefties due up for the Giants. Brewers lead 3-1. Giants threatening in a big way here. 4 hits in the inning. Lohse with 2 gone. And an 0-2 pitch. Ooh, close one. Pence had a good eye, and it's 1-2.
Oh, just a tantalizing breaking pitch. Took a lot off of it and just missed the outside corner. And it's tough to lay off that. Well, the fastball has been the pitch for him in this inning.
Lucroy setting up inside, and a bouncer back up the middle, and that's going to sneak through. A base hit. 2 runs are going to score, and we're all tied at 3.
Yeah, left it out over the plate. Did not get it in like he wanted it. And Hunter Pence able to get enough of it and rolls it into center field. We're all tied. Well, it's all about location when you don't throw very hard. Look at Lucroy. Look where it ends up, out over the plate. Hunter Pence able to get enough of it out of the reach of Segura, and that ties the game. Location, location, location. He hasn't missed his spots very often, but he did there.
Well, that is the 5th hit of the inning now. 3 runs are in for the Giants. Pence now with 10 runs batted in for the season. He's 1 for 3. On a slow roller back up the middle. You remember Pence's bullet that he hit in the first inning that was caught by Weeks. Sometimes the best hit balls go for outs, and the weakly hit balls go for base hits. Belt, first ball swinging. And the Giants are finally retired. They bring 8 batters to the plate. 5 hits in the inning, 3 runs in. And a brand new ball game here at Miller Park. We're all tied at 3 with the heart of the order coming up. Well, the Brewers had a 3-0 lead until the Giants scored 3 in the top of the 6th inning. Hunter Pence, a seeing eye ground ball that drives in 2 to tie this game. And we'll start it over here. Bottom of the 6th inning, all even at 3. And here is Ryan Braun to lead off. He'll be followed by Weeks and then Lucroy. Vogelsong back on the mound. Ryan Braun tonight has walked twice. Now Braun, no doubt in a tough slump at the plate, but he's shown a good eye tonight. He has been able to work some deep counts, draw a couple of walks. You have a hard time telling the Giants that he's in a slump, despite what they've seen from yesterday. Always a weapon, Ryan Braun, and that's why he knows it's important to stay in the lineup.
Yeah, slump's all relative. You know, a slump for some guys is 0 for 30. Slump for Ryan Braun, maybe a couple of days, and he snaps out of it.
Does some of his best work with 2 strikes, or has in his career. And the 1-2 is outside for a ball. That's the pitch, I think, that caught our eye earlier. He's been able to take that pitch tonight. Vogelsong's tried to hit that spot on a number of occasions.
He's seen the ball much better. That's where it all starts. Waiting back, hitting, swinging at strikes, and good things are going to happen sooner or later when you do that.
Posey's going back out there, and there's a called strike 3. Boy, you couldn't walk it across any better than that. Vogelsong, the bottom of the strike zone on the corner for a strikeout.
Yeah, not too many guys are going to be able to do much with that pitch, so why not take it? Yep, bingo, right on the edge. Looked like it might have been a bit low, but too close to take with 2 strikes.
So Vogelsong picks up the strikeout to start this inning. That's number 4 for him. And here is Ricky Weeks. Little tapper. And Vogelsong for out number 2. 2 quick gone here in the 6th inning. When you've had the kind of year that Vogelsong had last year, and even the year prior to that, his all-star season, and the postseason success, when you're down in a game 3-0, your manager has a lot of confidence in you, and I'm sure there were some questions. Why is Vogelsong hitting here in the top of the 6th? But Bochy lets him stay in the game. He drops a bunt down, gives himself up. The Giants get 4 more hits after that and tie the game, and now he has a chance to win this game.
Well, you do that, you allow him to get up to the plate and drop down a bunt. You rely on your players to make you look good. Vogelsong is not able to get the bunt down, and a couple of guys pop up, then people are wondering why he didn't pinch hit. They don't ask those questions when your guys come up with 3 hits in a row and 4 overall after that.
Last year was his first postseason, and he was a dominant performer for the Giants in 4 postseason starts. He started that key game 3 against Cincinnati in the LDS. The Giants were down 2-0 in that series, losing both of their home games. With the next 3 in Cincinnati, they came back and they won all 3. Vogelsong pitched twice against the Cardinals in the LCS and then had a World Series victory as well. Against the Tigers, he pitched game 3 of that series. Giants swept the Tigers. Went all 7 against the Cardinals and all 5 against Cincinnati to win their 2nd World Championship. 2-2 to Lucroy. Slow roller out to short. Crawford with time makes the play, and Vogelsong responds with a 3-up, 3-down 6th. Key inning coming up. We head to the 7th, all tied at 3. Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Nighttime in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A cold, rainy night outdoors. And the Harleys are shining bright as they always are out there in the Harley-Davidson deck. We did a broadcast out there one year. Wonder if they're going to invite us back. The game didn't go so well that night, as I recall.
Yeah, but it was fun out there.
That was the night Josh Willingham hit 2 grand slams in a game.
You got the Miller Lite party deck. That wouldn't be a bad spot to do a game.
Yeah, that has you written all over it. Maybe we could go in each spot. Like you could go up there and I'll go over to the Harley-Davidson deck.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
That would be nice. A little separation.
Yeah.
Be good about August.
And it's only April.
How about the rock wall, the brand new rock wall out there?
See, they're climbing it.
We're going to get rock up there at some point.
It looks like a lot of fun, but not for me.
Got a little race going. See, it's safety first. Rock.
Right.
You can do it.
Still.
You might bring down the whole wall with you, but
right. Well, I'm not doing it.
I'll have to stabilize it a little bit.
I'll be glad to watch you and root you on.
Loesch, a 2-2 count. Ring the bell. Just part of the fun here at Miller Park. Got a good ball game going tonight. All tied at 3. Brewers Giants, game 2 of this series. And a called strike 3. Kyle Loesch rings up Gregor Blanco.
And that fastball in. That's the spot where he wanted to get Hunter Pence. He left it out over the plate. Did not leave this one out over the plate. Able to catch the inside corner and ring him up. That's what happens. You're talking 2-3 inches. That's it. 2 inches is all between a strikeout and a base hit.
6 strikeouts for Loesch. 2 of those have been looking. And here's Brandon Crawford now. Crawford started the rally in the 6th inning. He had a leadoff single. Giants scored 3 runs on 5 hits. All of them were singles. Giants are a much better hitting team than they were last season during the regular season. They actually became a very good hitting team in the postseason. Marco Scutaro had a lot to do with that.
I think guys stepping up that you don't expect. Scutaro, one of them. I mean, it just seems like everybody that wins the World Series has a guy like that.
Now, Crawford was really one of the bigger question marks for the Giants. Had a little turnover at the shortstop position, but Crawford seems to have owned that position, and he's the everyday guy for Bruce Bochy.
And he will be as long as he keeps hitting like he has. Hitting over 300 in that number 8 spot. A very important spot in the National League in front of the pitcher. Not easy.
Crawford has the longest hitting streak of his career, 10 games now. The 1-2 pitch, and he spoils it foul. Crawford wears number 35, and that has some historical significance for Giants shortstops. Chris Spires and, of course, Rich Aurelia wearing number 35. He said he was honored to see that number in his locker when he made the big league roster. Probably a similar feeling for Giovanni Gallardo when he arrived to the big leagues and had number 49 in his locker.
Teddy Higuera.
2-2. Bouncing ball. That's through the hole. A base hit. Well, there were a lot of those hits last inning for the Giants. San Francisco now with a man on and one out, and now 5 hits, make it 6 hits in the game.
And Vogelsong's going to get another at bat. Consecutive innings where he's going to go up and be asked to bunt. Why not? He's throwing the baseball pretty well.
Well, the last 10 hitters for the Giants have produced 6 hits after being no hit through the first 5 innings. Giants had just 1 base runner through the first 5 innings, a walk in the 5th.
Yep, and all singles off of Kyle Loesch.
Pitch number 99 coming as Vogelsong squares, pulls it back. And that is a fair ball. Gonzalez makes the throw, has to scurry back to third. So there's a sac bunt. Gonzalez waited as long as he could. I beg your pardon, not a sac bunt. Was waiting for that to roll foul.
Well, I'm not sure why he swung at that pitch, because that bag was stolen by Crawford. There was no way the Brewers were going to be able to throw him out. And had he not swung, it would have been second base, and then probably would have seen him drop down a bunt again.
So it works like a sacrifice to get Crawford to second, but he swings away, and it's a 5-3 put out. 2 gone. Top of the order now. Pagan. Could be Loesch's last hitter. Nice stop by Lucroy. Renicky has activity in his bullpen. Loesch has labored in the last 3 innings in context for Kyle Loesch. He was just breezing along until the Giants finally got him in the 6th. Pagan takes one off the plate. 2-0 now. John Axford would be next. Brewers bullpen had to pick up 5 innings last night in a victory. Pagan in the air to left. Braun eases back. And he's got it to end the inning. Kyle Loesch, 7 innings, 3 runs. Most likely done. It's a tie ball game.
Congratulations from his teammates after a great outing here at Miller Park. And if the Giants are going to duplicate their World Series run from last season, they'll be relying heavily on the arms of many of the guys that we're seeing here this series. Barry Zito last night, Ryan Vogelsong here tonight, and of course tomorrow, Matt Cain. We're asking fans tonight, which NL team has the best starting rotation? 17% said the Giants, 13% the Dodgers, 40% the Nationals. Can't forget Wisconsin native Jordan Zimmerman there. 19% said the Cardinals and 11% said the Phillies. And Brian, the task against the Giants doesn't get any easier tomorrow with Matt Cain on the mound against Giovanni Gallardo.
Yeah, Matt Cain, and one of those guys that's off to a slow start for the Giants, and yet San Francisco is 9-5 to start the year. And Cain is off to a very sluggish start, but just one of those guys you know he's going to be there come season's end. He is a perennial Cy Young Award candidate.
Well, Vogelsong got off to a sluggish start, but about midway through his last start in Chicago, found it and has continued to throw well tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike. Vogelsong at the bottom of this Brewers order, which has been the most productive part of the order the last 2 days. Alex Gonzalez, Carlos Gomez, and then Betancourt to follow. And this was the part of the order that got it going in the 5th. Brewers scored 2 runs on 3 hits. Gomez and Betancourt with the RBIs in the 5th inning. Giants scored all 3 of their runs in the 6th. Otherwise, Loesch was outstanding tonight.
And mixing his pitches, used a lot of fastballs again tonight. And I think a lot of that has to do with the type of hitters that he's facing in a given game. Giants make good contact like the Cardinals and relied on the fastball tonight.
Two and two, and Gonzalez fouls it away. Gonzalez started that 5th with a double. He was able to keep it fair. He hit it just in front of the wall down the left field line, and it was fair by inches. Does have a home run this year. Pulled it right down into that same corner here at Miller Park. Pretty much a pull hitter, Alex Gonzalez.
And that's really a function of not being dialed into the plate and trying to get that bat start a little bit early. Hook balls down the left field line. When he starts to get comfortable up there at the plate, at bats start to build up, he's going to wade back and start driving baseballs up the middle.
We'll see what he gives him here. 2-2. He's hanging tough. Alex Gonzalez tore his ACL in San Francisco last year. That was in early May. Sliding into second base. Knocked him out for the season. He was actually considering coming back before season's end. He said he had a chance to return had the Brewers made the postseason. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Jerry Meals, and Gonzalez is a strikeout victim. Well, it was the bottom of the order in our shining moment. Brought to you by the Marshfield Clinic. Back in the 5th inning, Gonzalez started it with a double. Just fair down the left field line. And then Carlos Gomez squared the bunt, pulled it back, and then drove it over the head of Pence. RBI triple. And then a sac fly. Look at Gomez flying across home plate. And that was the 2-run 5th inning for the Brewers.
He hates having to stop running.
Gomez takes a mighty hack. He's good for one of those a game.
Pretty good pitch to hit. Almost falling down.
I wonder what goes through a pitcher's mind when he sees something like that.
Glad he didn't hit it. Perhaps.
Gomez has been on a nice run at the plate. Has 7 hits in his last 3 games. More than half of his hits have come since Sunday.
And how often do you see a guy really get a hold of one when he swings like that, right? It's a nice easy swing. You wait back like he did on that triple to right. Under control. But sometimes you can't help yourself when you see one coming right down the middle.
Well, there's an entertainment factor to a swing and a miss that you don't get with most other players. He's down in the hole, 1-2. And to right field, Gomez. Representing the go-ahead run. The Brewers have speed aboard here in the bottom of the 7th. Second hit of the night for Gomez.
And nice easy swing. Keeps the bat in the hitting zone a nice long time and serves one out into right field. That pitch away from him. Outer half. Gets on top of it and dumps it into right. Shortening up with 2 strikes. And now a potential stolen base coming up.
Gomez is 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts. He hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to run. And now Betancourt has come up with big hit after big hit the last 2 games. Actually, last 3 games. Gomez
does that a lot on foul balls.
Smelling the batter.
I'm not sure what he's doing there.
Burnt wood.
But it works. Keep doing it.
The bat's happy. Broken bat to Crawford. And that's going to start a 6-4-3 double play. So Vogelsong just like that gets out of it. Still tied at 3. We go to the 8th.
Chicago Cubs at 1:10 p.m. and all fans in attendance go to George Scott bobblehead. Compliments of Toyota. There's Brewers.com for tickets.
Giants will wrap up this series tomorrow with the Brewers, and then the Cubs coming in Friday, 3-game series concluding on that bobblehead day on Sunday, and then the Brewers are headed west. Bert Badenhop is on to pitch his 7th outing of the season, and he'll take over in a 3-3 ball game. Kyle Lohse goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and again will not factor in the decision tonight.
Yep, the Giants singled him to death in the 6th inning. All singles to score their 3 runs. And Badenhop appearing in game number 7. He's got a .675 earned run average. He has allowed 1 home run.
Well, I'm sure the Giants feeling like their strength is their bullpen, matching up with the Brewers. And a favorable matchup tonight. We'll see who comes out on top. because this one belongs to the bullpens. You would figure that Vogelsong is done for the night as well. Activity in the Giants bullpen. Scudero takes strike one. Sandoval to follow, and then Buster Posey. A crowd of nearly 30,000 tonight at Miller Park.
What else is there to do in the rain, right? Come on inside.
Yeah, temperatures in the 40s outside and rain coming down. Bouncer out to Segura. Nice easy hop for him. And there's the first out. Well, the Giants and the Brewers tomorrow to wrap up this series. A matchup of opening day starters. Gallardo against Kane. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. And neither one of these team aces are off to very good starts.
Well, something's got to give tomorrow then, right? And you hope it's Yo.
Brewers have not won a series this year. They've only won 4 games. They're 4-8. And they're hoping for a chance not just to win a series, but a chance to sweep a series. Have to win that one, this one tonight, and then win that one tomorrow. Brewers have been a very good home team over the last 3 years. The Giants have been a very good road team. The best in the big leagues, as a matter of fact, in the last couple of seasons. Not the best matchup here for Badenhop. A sinker ball pitcher, a low ball pitcher, and a low ball hitter in Sandoval.
Man, a guy that's not afraid to go to left field, and that's what Badenham likes to do, sink that ball away from a lefty. Brewers have Sandoval pretty much played straight away in the infield and the outfield. That's about as straight away as you're going to see the Brewers line up.
2 balls and a strike. You could get an argument from a few sources, you would think, but Sandoval could very well be the best low ball hitter in the big leagues right now. And it doesn't have to be a strike. Right back to the mound. He hit it hard, but Badenhop was right there. Nice play by the Brewer pitcher. 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, he's a tough guy to walk. He very rarely, if ever, walks, which is amazing that he hits 300 just about every year or close. And Badenhop able to get him there. Sinker ballers ordinarily are going to be good fielding pitchers.
I was thinking about that double that Sandoval had yesterday against Peralta on a sinker down in the zone. Wasn't even a strike, but he ripped it into right center. There's a strike to Posey. Now one more piece to the puzzle here for Badenhop. Posey is 0 for 3. He lined out in the 5th, struck out with men on base in the 6th. Loesch was an out away from getting out of the 6th inning with a lead, but the next man up, Hunter Pence, squeezed one through the middle of the infield for a 2 RBI single. Bouncing ball. Here is Gonzalez. And Bert Badenhop, the ground ball pitcher, gets 3 of them in the 8th. To the bottom of the 8th we go, tied at 3.
3-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're happy to have Craig Counsell with us tonight on Brewers Live postgame. Made his debut on Brewers Live pregame tonight. And Craig and David were both talking about the importance of Kyle Lohse in this one, going the 7 strong innings. It's a 3-3 game right now. What are your impressions, Craig?
Well, it was 14 in a row to start the game, and it was impressive. Again, mixing in all his pitches, attacking hitters. He always seems to be on the attack. And it just every time on the attack. Great job again.
Yeah, and what I liked about him today was basically he ate up some innings, but ate up some quality innings to save the bullpen. And I like what Craig said. He attacks the strike zone. I like that.
All right, hope to catch up with Kyle Lohse after the game. We'll get inside the clubhouse also after the game. Our post-game instructional, as we have every night here at home on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Join the gang, and we're going to be talking about taking a lead and stealing a base tonight, all put together during spring training. So we're looking forward to that coming up on Brewers Live, our post-game instructional. All kinds of good things coming along, and Craig Counsell will be joining us, Brian and Bill.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. And there you see Rock with John Shelby, T-Bone. That'll be in our post-game instructional.
He could steal some bases in his day. Very good base runner, base stealer.
He's a great teacher of the game, too, John Shelby. A World Series champion a couple times. He has a ring with the Orioles and the Dodgers. He was on that '88 Dodgers team. So here is Santiago Casilla. Very tough right-hander out of that Giants bullpen. He's the setup man for Sergio Romo. 8th appearance of the season. He's racked up a bunch of strikeouts already.
Yeah, he's given up only 1 run his first outing of the year, and since then 6 2/3 scoreless. This is certainly the strong suit, as if the starting rotation isn't for the Giants. Their bullpen outstanding.
Logan Schaefer pinch hitting for the Brewers. 25-year-old outfielder Schaefer in an unusual role off the bench, but a role that he flourished in last year. Was 4 for 8 as a pinch hitter last season. So far this year, he's 2 for 3 at the plate overall. He's 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. 3-3 game, bottom 8, and Casilla deals strike 1 to Schaefer.
This is what makes the job of a young guy coming off the bench so difficult. Not only have you not been getting a lot of at-bats, but you're facing some of the league's best in the 8th and 9th innings. Not easy work.
Schaefer is very fast. He's a good bunter as well. And he slaps that one into left field, a base hit. That was a beautiful piece of hitting by Schaefer. Just took it where it was pitched, and the Brewers again have the potential go-ahead run aboard.
We saw Schaefer and Josh Prince and Blake Lally Davis out for early batting practice today. It was about 3:30. And doing that, taking the baseball to the opposite field, and lo and behold, you work on it, and it works.
And now that stolen base threat is available. Top of the order, Nori Aoki. Let's see if he's up there to bunt. Looks like it. And he gets a good bunt down. Brandon Belt in time to get Aoki's sacrifice bunt. Advances Schaefer to second, and the go-ahead running scoring position. Check our Powerball home run leaderboard. Braun has a pair, as does Aoki. And Betancourt after his home run tonight with 2 homers in the last 2 games. Powerball home run leaderboard. The Brewers as a team with 10 home runs so far. They led the league in that category last season. A base hit will do here. Segura with Braun to follow. Now the best arm in the outfield for the Giants is Pence in right. And we've already seen that arm tonight, although Gomez scored the run back in the 5th inning. Pence has a very strong arm. Pagan is fast, can close the distance. Blanco is in left. And the Brewers will be aggressive if they have a chance to score a run here. Segura cannot check his swing.
Yeah, big, nasty, heavy sinker from Casilla to go along with a slider. There's a lot of ground ball outs.
Segura, the league's top hitter, coming in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has been big late in games for the Brewers. Santiago Casilla never showed this kind of success. As a member of the Oakland A's, he spent his entire big league career, which is now a decade, in the Bay Area. Now in his 4th season with the Giants, and he has been terrific out of their bullpen. That ball's hit hard, center field. On the run, Pagan at the track. He's got it for the out. Schaefer was almost to third base as he scurries to get back to the bag.
He laid the wood on that baby. Hit it the deepest part of the ballpark. Now you pull that a little bit, and that's a home run. Boy, Segura put a charge into that one. Fastball up, out over the plate, and Angel Pagan able to go out there just shy of the wall. I think Schaefer thought that ball was going to be rattling around on the wall a little bit. He has to scamper back and is able to do it.
So he's still at second. Maybe with nobody out, he would have considered tagging out. But that was the second out, and the Giants, despite Braun's struggles, are going to intentionally walk him. At the plate presented by Wendy's, Braun has walked twice and struck out. And this will be his 3rd walk of the game. Ricky Weeks will have his chance with 2 men on, with one more wide one. So the stage is set here for Ricky Weeks. Braun is aboard, an intentional pass. 2 on, 2 out. Ricky Weeks, for the first time as a cleanup hitter this year, last night delivered 2 runs with a double on Zito. It's a ground rule double, part of that 8-run inning for the Brewers. And hoping that the confidence from that kind of hit and run production carries over to tonight. Weeks is 0 for 3 tonight. Big spot, 2 outs.
Casilla is going to try to get him with a sinking fastball. Ricky, a much better high ball hitter ordinarily than a low ball hitter, and Casilla likes to pound the bottom of the strike zone. Started him out with a slider.
And now Posey wants to talk it over with Casilla, maybe changing the signs here.
And Schaefer's been out there a while, but ordinarily if you're going to change signs, you're going to bring in your shortstop and second baseman. A philosophical discussion, perhaps,
on how to attack Weeks. I think you're right.
Right.
Now this is the spot of bother for the Brewers since Ramirez went down with the injury. Giants have one of their best relievers on the mound. Ricky Weeks with 2 on, 2 out. And it's 2-0. Think about Weeks, even when he's in a bad spot at the plate, when he's in a slump, he still manages to draw his walks. And now that he's ahead of the count, Casilla is going to be forced to challenge him at some point. And And he misses again. 3-0 the count.
Good take, 95 with the fastball that time. And why do you get Ricky the green light? 3-0. Why not? I do. And a very good hitter with men in scoring position on deck.
Yeah, Jonathan Lucroy to follow.
And Casilla knows it.
Brewers have great speed on the bases. Schaefer and Braun tied at 3 in the 8th. 2 outs. And Weeks taking. Good fastball in there. 3-1 now. Casilla has only given up 2 hits this year in his 8 games. Schaefer just had one. And now it's 3-2. Back to the fastball and on the other side of the strike zone.
They start him out with a slider, missed, and it's been 4 consecutive fastballs in the mid-90s. 4-seamer on the outside corner. Nice pitch.
Well, now Casilla has turned the tables on Weeks. Full count. This is going to give the runners a head start. Schaefer's got to be heads up out there at second. 3-2, 2 gone. Runners go. Weeks lines one left field. And right there to make the play is Blanco. Ricky hit it right on the nose. And the Brewers come up empty. Tough break. We go to the 9th, tied. Brewers closer, but how has he settled into the new role? You can read all about that. Andrew Grumman has the story at foxsportswisconsin.com. So Henderson on to work, his 7th appearance of the year. Henderson does have 2 saves, and his goal here is to try to get this game to the bottom of the 9th, still tied at 3. Henderson is going to face Hunter Pence to start the inning, and then Brandon Belt followed by Gregor Blanco. He's got a couple of left-handed hitters coming up.
Last pitched on Sunday in St. Louis. Henderson has been very good. 2 for 2 in save opportunities. Ron Renneke looking for him to put up a 0 and then put a run on the board. Henderson, that big fastball and that sweeping slider. Got the bottom half of that Giants order coming up.
So it'll be Hunter Pence to start it. And he had the big hit for the Giants back in the 6th. With 2 outs, he had a 2 RBI single that tied the game at 3. And here we sit. Total board is identical right now. The 2 starters, Vogelsong and Loesch, very similar lines tonight. Each pitcher going 7 innings. Loesch giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, had a walk and 6 strikeouts. Vogelsong with 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts.
A tough break for Ricky Weeks, huh? A 3-2 fastball, hit it right on the nose, but Gregor Blanco waiting right there. Can't hit it any better than that.
Hence out to Gomez, and Henderson retires the first batter he faces. I think if there's any concern for Jim Henderson, it primarily has to do with when he matches up against left-handed hitting. Henderson is a fastball slider pitcher. And a couple of lefties are coming up for the Giants. He had a string of lefties he had to deal with last night. Switch hitters and left-handed hitters.
And sometimes he just doesn't get a lot of tilt on his slider. It flattens out, and that's a dangerous pitch to a lefty. When he gets on top of it, though, it's a good one. He back legs it, and he gets the swing and a miss.
Lucroy wants another one. Brandon Belt at the plate, and a big swing.
That's the one right there I'm talking about. Yeah, right under that bat. That had a little bit of downward action on it. Good pitch.
Might remember Loesch threw a number of sliders to Belt in that same spot. Certainly Lucroy remembering those swings. And it goes to 1-2. So 3 straight sliders from Henderson to Brandon Belt. Belt walked in the 5th inning. He was the first base runner that Loesch allowed. Loesch started the game by retiring the first 14 batters he faced. Slider number 4 coming, the 1-2, and he got him. Back to the well. 4 in a row from Jim Henderson, and Belt is a strikeout victim.
Yeah, watch this pitch as it comes into home plate. Watch the way he gets on top of it. And that downward action, that's a beauty right there. When he gets on top of that pitch, those fingers on top, that has some good downward bite, and that's a good swing and a miss pitch for a lefty.
Well, here's Gregor Blanco now. Might as well. 5 in a row coming. And he misfires this time. Blanco doesn't chase. Blanco is hitless in the series. He's 0 for 8. Loesch struck him out back in the 7th inning. He got him on a called strike 3. Two and 0. Two and 0 to Gregor Blanco. Henderson deals way inside. And now it's 3-0. Another left-handed hitter on deck for the Giants. Brandon Crawford. If you're wondering why Bochy stacks these lefties, if it does get into a scenario where there would be a matchup problem for Bochy, that these are the players that he would typically pinch hit for. And that one missed. So a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs.
Man, a guy with pretty good speed out there on first base. And Ron Renneke shaking his head. Does not want to see Brandon Crawford come to the plate. This guy's been red hot. And Gregor Blanco can run.
So here comes Crawford with 2 more hits tonight. Extended a hitting streak to 10 games with a single in the 6th inning. He started the rally, the 3-run 6th inning for the Giants. And now hitting .327 for the season. Last year, Crawford hit .248 for the Giants. Started 122 games for San Francisco at the shortstop position. And he's off to a fast start this year.
Man, he's got some pop in that bat. Man, you make a mistake on the inner half of the plate, he can ride one out of here.
Crawford hit a home run last night against Willie Peralta. That was his second of the year. Ooh, that one almost got by Lucroy. So 5 straight balls from Henderson now. And you wonder if Bochy is going to put the runner in motion here. You know, Henderson's trying to get one across the plate.
Yeah, make him throw a strike first, though.
Blanco, a good sized lead at first. And Henderson misses again, 2-0. Cards have been played here. Renicky going with Henderson in the 9th. Got the first 2 out. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw to second base on the bag, not in time.
Oh.
Blanco steals second base by an eyelash.
Oh, what a great throw by Lucroy. Looked like they had him. Marvin Hudson, the second base umpire. 2-0. Looked pretty close. Had a decent lead. Had a good jump. Lucroy nearly got him at second base.
And the definitive angle.
Yeah, well, boy, can't get much closer than that.
That's bang bang. Could have gone either way. It goes in the favor of the Giants. First steal for Blanco, and there is the go-ahead run in scoring position. And a 3-0 count, and Crawford takes strike 1. And Henderson found another notch on his fastball there, just in case.
You might want to do the same here on 3-1.
Strike 2. Same spot, same velocity. Full count now with 2 outs. Falling behind Crawford, 3-0. There's 6 consecutive balls, or 7 consecutive balls before the 2 strikes. Now a chance to get out of it. 3-2 on the way. Crawford in the air to left, playable for Braun. And Henderson works through the 9th. To the bottom of the 9th, Jonathan Lucroy ready to lead off. He's been at his best late in games. Had the walk-off sac fly out opening day in the 10th inning. And then at St. Louis in the 10th inning, he went deep, which proved to be a game winner. He'll start it when we come back. third, added 2 in the 5th. The Giants got 3 off Loesch in the 6th inning, and that's where we sit as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Ron Renicky hoping for a final at-bat win here again tonight. 2 of the 4 wins for the Brewers have come in their last at-bat, and Lucroy has delivered both. Lucroy to start it. Gonzalez, then Gomez. First 3 up. Bruce Bochy's going to stick with Santiago Casilla in his 2nd inning. Now the Brewers had 2 on in the 8th inning and couldn't bring him home, although Weeks hit a line drive right to Blanco. Hit it hard, but right at the Giants left fielder. Jonathan Lucroy is 0 for 3 tonight. Lucroy had a 3-hit game on Sunday, backed it up with 2 hits and 2 RBIs last night.
Well, Lucroy's job just any way to get on. Ron Renicky, pretty much a full complement of bench players. Got a couple of his catchers available. Chris Davis, Josh Prince. So if Lucroy gets on, you expect to see a pinch runner. Somebody that can steal a base.
Well, Casilla has been pitching a lot here lately. Worked in 3 of the 4 games in the Cubs series and actually had a 2-inning outing against the Cubs in game 3 of that series on Saturday. And then he pitched the next day. Did have the last couple of days off. Got in on Lucroy's hands. Ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he was sitting dead red right there. 94 up and in. He was able to get a bat on it.
One and 2 the count. Casilla. Lucroy takes a ball. 2-2. The only hit that Casilla allowed until Schaefer's single last inning was against the Cubs last Thursday. That's been it. 2 hits in 7 2/3 innings this year.
Throws strikes. He has that slider, that nasty sinking fastball, and don't forget he throws in the mid-90s, 95, 96. Something this Giants bullpen will not do is walk batters late in the game.
Now Lucroy hanging tough. Gonzalez waits to hit next. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and another foul. The only run Casilla has allowed came in his first outing of the year on opening day. Gave up a run to the Dodgers. He did not record an out against Los Angeles. Two balls, 2 strikes on Lucroy. Spins him out of there. 3-2 now as he misfired with a breaking ball.
Went with a 3-2 fastball to Ricky Weeks with a couple of men on. Probably see him do the same to Lucroy.
Full count. See what Casilla gives him here, and Lucroy backs out. Brewers back to the bottom of their order. The part of the order that has produced all of the runs tonight. Payoff pitch. Lucroy lines one, center field, base hit. And there you go. The Brewers with the potential winning run aboard to start the inning as Lucroy comes up with his first hit of the night.
Yep, 3-2 fastball right down the middle, and Lucroy starting to see the baseball pretty well. Lines it into center field. There's your winning run. Two-seamer that stayed up, and a good level swing by Lucroy to get things going here in the ninth.
It's just such a good two-strike hitter. Just shortens up and rips it back up the middle. Lucroy is out, being pinch run for. Josh Prince, very good speed at first base. And he represents the winning run. Now we'll see if Gonzalez is up there to try to bunt him over. He squares, and Alex pops it up. And this is going to be caught. Boy, that was worst case scenario there, as Gonzalez on the pitch gives himself away. One out.
Well, the barrel of the bat drops, and an easy out for Brandon Belt. Now the little things, difference between wins and losses. And an easy out. Not just giving away an out there.
Well, here's Gomez now with 2 hits tonight. And his first triple of the year. He drove in a run with that triple in the 5th. Giants are playing at regular depth in the outfield. So if Gomez can shoot one down a line or through the alley, Prince has the kind of speed to score and end this game.
Yeah, he can fly. He can run well.
And he takes off, and Gomez swings away in the hole. Tough play. Crawford's throw gets by. It's into the dugout. That is 2 from the field. And Prince will end up at third base. Gomez to second. Boy, what a play.
They're saying that Prince was not at second base by the time that ball was let go. It's not where he was when the ball goes into the dugout. It's where the fielder gets rid of the baseball. Where is he when he throws the ball? And that was pretty close.
I'm with you. Let's see. This will give us a good look at it.
He's at second base.
He's rounded second.
Yeah, no idea why you don't get home plate there. And Ron Rennick is going to go out and have a chat. I mean, that's a bad call.
This game should be over.
Absolutely.
He is rounded second base.
He gets rid of the baseball after Prince has second base, which means he should be able to score. And that's what Ron Rennick is talking about right now. Yeah, I mean, not even close. 2 from the field, 1 from the mound. This game should be over.
There's the crew chief, Tim Welke, and whatever his explanation was, Rennick was satisfied. Well, now it's second and third.
That'll be a hit for Gomez. And an E6.
And here is Betancourt once again. Game on the line now. Second and third, 1 out. And they will intentionally walk Betancourt.
Now, who do you send up? You got Blake Lally, a left-handed hitter, Maldonado, and Chris Davis.
Looks like Martin Maldonado has a bat in his hands. Remember, Lucroy is out of the game. He was pinch run for, and now Maldonado is being pulled back. And Rennick is going to give Blake Lally a shot to win it here. And how about this for a first at bat at Miller Park? Blake Lally. And a couple of games on the road, but this is his first action here in this venue. So now the stage is set. The bases are loaded. The winning run at third base. And it's going to be Blake Lally.
Infield in, outfield in. And it's up to Blake Lally with 1 out. You got Aoki on deck, though.
Now Prince, the pinch runner for Lucroy. He carries the winning run. Blake Lally, what a spot for him to be in. Lally got a start on the road in St. Louis. He's 0 for 5 at the plate. He's played in 2 games. This is game number 3 for Lally. Can't be much of a book, you wouldn't think, from Casilla on Lally and vice versa.
Well, Casilla's going to do his thing in this situation. It doesn't really matter what the book is on Lally. He's going to attack him with a fastball. Try to get ahead and have him chase. Well, if you're Josh Prince, you get a big secondary lead down there in case he spikes a slider.
Infield end for the Giants. 1 gone, 9th inning. And Lally lifts it in the air to left field. This is going to do it. Back on it is Blanco, and he can't get there. And this ball game is over as Blake Lally delivers in the clutch. The Brewers win in walk-off style. And welcome to Miller Park, Blake Lally. .4-3 final. Milwaukee defeats the Giants. And it'll go as a hit for Blake Lally. Oh, man.
Just a good ball game here at the ballpark again tonight. The Brewers with some late heroics once again. 3rd time already this year. A last at-bat victory.
Well, the Brewers again with a walk-off. 2 of their 3 wins at home have come in walk-off style. Lally wasting no time. First ball swinging with the outfield in. And it ends up as a base hit. Officially a single and an RBI for Blake Lally. Prince carries the winning run home. And the Brewers celebrate tonight a 4-3 final. The winner is Jim Henderson, his 2nd victory of the year. And Casilla the loss. Let's send it down to Blake Lally, who is with Mark Kunkanen.
PA, thanks. Pretty good first at bat at Miller Park.
Yeah, it was exciting. I guess that's the situation you want to be in off the bench.
What was your approach going up against Casilla, one of the top relievers of the game in that situation?
Just try to be aggressive. I mean, I had a lot of stuff in my favor, infield in, outfield in, so just try to be aggressive and, you know, attack.
How does it feel, first of all, to win 3 in a row and 2 in a row against the defending world champs?
That's good. It was good. You know, to come in here, well, especially when at home, but, you know, turning around. We had a little rough spot, but we played good the last couple games. So,
how tough is it to be in this situation where you're going to get pied in the face by Jonathan Lucroy? We knew this was coming, B.A. There's no doubt about it. Well, this guy has lived in 5 different cities in the last year. He was in Sacramento, Des Moines, Chicago, Nashville. Gets called up, reports to Wrigley Field last Tuesday. Congratulations. A great way to start. You got to be really pumped. It's got to be tough to be in a situation like that. You don't play the whole game, come in cold, and knock in the game winner.
Yeah, no, it feels great. It really does. So,
congratulations. Go get cleaned up, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, Craig. Blake Lally, their hero tonight.
Not too shabby. Nice finish by the Brew Crew, and we're going to get inside that clubhouse. Brewers Live is on the way. Also hear from Ron Renick, thinking about his sweep coming up tomorrow afternoon in the finale as well. We'll look ahead to that. Brewers Live postgame is next.